buzzing and everything.
Sometimes you can hear it, sometimes you
It
can't.
was like, we on. Mike checker.
Boom.
There we go.
We hot?
Yeah, we hot.
Yes. Just a thought back in your ear, podcast listeners.
Live and direct.
Fred Potter here.
Amaru.
Right on. How you feel?
Hour by hour existence.
Yeah.
Just thinking a lot. Just prioritizing.
Trying to stay busy because stuff that's making you busy that you don't want to have to be busy with. Negative stuff. You know, stuff that happened that's out of your control that you have to deal with. That you know.
It's kind of a double-edged sword feeling in regards to, like, I'm in the middle of life,
Right.
aka this project and some other stuff. And
Yeah, when everything's going so nice and then boom, let me set this up.
then somebody said, "Hold your drink." Hold my drink.
So, okay, it's been a week. We didn't do a podcast last week for a reason. I'm going to tell you why, listeners. Well, last Friday was busy for me. I knew it was going to be busy because I was at my buddy's wedding. So that Friday we had to do the rehearsal, had to be at the wedding Saturday, but my wife was going to go with me. But actually that Friday we had to call her nephew, so I'm happy with her niece, as far as on the negative side. We'll leave it at that. So I knew it was going to affect my wife in a negative way because I know my wife. So, and it wouldn't have been a good thing because I had that wedding that next day and it was her birthday the next day. So she did not go to the wedding with me, which is actually a pretty good thing because I was being the best man. So I had to do my thing as being the best man.
Right.
Turned out everything was cool. My buddy got away, got married, did his honeymoon thing, blase, split, boom, boom, boom. Sunday, my wife's birthday. She wanted to do...
Happy birthday.
Yes, she wanted to do the graveyard thing, have a rose bush set in her mom and dad's grave site and her late brother, and did one up front. Did all that.
Right.
Okay? I was like, man, let me go ahead and reach out to Amaru because we need to touch base on this podcast, our next podcast.
Right.
Turns out it was weird because I reached out to you and you reached out to me around the same time, which was kind of eerie.
Yeah. I was hitting
eerie.
the buttons too.
Yeah, it was real eerie. So, like, you hit these buttons here, I'm hearing different vibes in my ear.
Yeah, mixing and everything,
Yeah.
mixing and stuff. Make sure we get the proper signal.
It's all good. So, I thought that was weird, but it was a cool weird. It's like, man, this nigga was reaching out. I was reaching out the same way. I was like, no, I was busy. Good vibe. Boom. Then you call me not even 15 minutes later, and I answered the phone. I remember saying,
maybe
15 minutes later, what it do? And then you said,
my eldest daughter passed away.
And I had no words. All I could say was,
yeah, man, it's just been surreal. Like, that was my baby. That was,
that was your first daughter.
That was my first child. She was my stepdaughter, but I was her father since she was 9 months old.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, it was never a question. I didn't even think about it. That was what came with my girlfriend. And I accepted her, I accepted the baby, and it was never a question.
You was her father.
I was her father. And,
so that was a devastating blow.
Yeah,
of course it was, because I saw sides. I mean, I'm sorry, people handle things different. And I didn't know how to react, brother. I really didn't.
I didn't either.
Because we had, of course, because I can't relate. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you it on air, because this is a 100% podcast. The day that happened on my wife's birthday, because I told you there was some negative vibes with her people's, that she had to handle. Like, you're not responsible for everybody kind of thing. So I had to be the husband, and I said, so we got into a little bit, but it was cool going to the wedding. But that day of her birthday, my daughter just got back into town from taking my vehicle down to Tennessee with about 3 of her friends. Okay, thank God they made it back safe and everything. But on the way to my wife's dinner, we all got into it over a situation. And I knew all the information you already told me, and I was like, man, feeling bad. But my daughter and myself, we got into a disagreement worse than we've ever been in a disagreement before. Now, she showed a little bit of lack of respect, and I demand respect from my kid. I never disrespected my kid at her age. Right. I respect, I demand that same respect. Right. But the timing was so bad because Penny knew the situation, and she was surprised that we got into it like that. But it turned out to be one of those situations where conversation had to be had. Words had to be, oh, no, it's not like this. She's 20 years old, almost 21. So I got to treat her as she always going to be my baby, but she's a young woman. And I got to treat her as such. But she got to show me respect. And I guarantee you, the conversation we had, she won't disrespect me the way she did again by words. It wasn't bad, not crazy, not cussing, no, nothing like that. But
this has something to do with...
No. It has something to do with a conversation on the negativity that happened with my wife's family.
Right. Oh, okay.
On that, nothing to do with anything else. It just the timing. It was so bad, and then I was like, man, my man just lost his daughter, and then me and my daughter at odds.
Right.
And so the timing was terrible, man.
We don't need this right now.
No.
I don't need you going to bed with no ill thoughts.
But the conversation had to be had. But that's a good thing.
A friend of mine said the same thing. He said he was like, bruh, he's like at the dinner table last night. Based on what just happened, it was a full-blown discussion. I mean, we talked about love, boyfriends, everything
that needed to be said.
That needed to be said.
Yeah. And how old is was it? Kentucky?
No, it was.
Okay.
It was Illinois.
Somebody else. How old is the daughters or son or whatever?
Oh, they all under 10.
Okay.
Yeah, they babies still. And
it makes you readjust.
Man,
it makes you do things, and obviously, like I said, it turned out to be a situation where we had to talk about some things, respect thing, and it's been cool since.
You go through these stages, man.
But like, you don't want to stop.
I've been writing some shit. I got a show this Saturday, so I gotta.
Yeah, I'm going. I'll be there for sure.
I gotta put it in this perspective, but it takes you through these stages. Like I went to the stage of how this was my fault. And I could think of many places how this is my fault because I could have ended that dude's life a long time ago, and I went over to their house for that purpose one day about 8-9 years ago when my daughter called me and told me he put hands on her, and but then when I got over there soon after that the police showed up, and so I took my daughter home from that situation, and then all it took was 3-4 days for him to talk her back into coming back home. She was right back, and she a grown woman. I couldn't stop her.
Nothing you could do.
And then her whole rationale for going back, and this is why we got to do better as parents, man. The reason why she wanted to go back was because she had a car. Bitch, it's an '86. It's a Buick '86. She had her own apartment with him. Okay, but that's material possessions.
So as parents, how can we do better? You mentioned that. I mean, motivate them, be more independent.
I can't even say that because again, you go through these stages. So then I started reviewing my life.
Right.
They didn't get that shit from me. I'm the most ambitious motherfucker I know.
And it's amazing because we was just talking about on the podcast. This is 22. I think on number 20 or 19, we was talking about our kids. Mm-hmm. You was talking basically
that you can't live their life for them,
right,
and you gotta let that shit go.
And you was explaining you didn't do anything negative. I didn't do. You just want them to be responsible adults.
Not to say that I didn't do anything negative in regards to environment or just something negative that happened in the period of time of me being with my kids.
Right.
You deal with life, whatever. But because everything wasn't perfect. However, I was there from beginning to end. I cut the cords. I named all the babies. I was there. I taught them how to tie their shoes. I read to them even before they came out of the womb. I was a fucking father. I wasn't a dad. I was that person. I was the person. I was the disciplinary. I was the father who was willing to talk to his daughter about their bodies and all that shit. I didn't give a fuck. This is what it is.
This is what a boy gonna do and say.
This is what he gonna say. I'm teaching them game. Yep. I'm that guy. And then they turn around and fall into those traps of what some dude smooth talking motherfucker than said. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand that. Like that you didn't see me do your mother the same way.
That's what's amazing, because they had that myth that young lady is gonna fall for the guy that they
reflect their father.
Exactly.
Nigga, I ain't no crackhead.
Exactly. So that's a myth. I mean, you would like to, because I ain't gonna lie. I've never struck a woman like that. You know, I've never.
Have I wanted to choke a bitch? Yes, absolutely.
Wake up, I'll be gone with a note. Right. This is why you just woke up.
I left because I didn't want to choke your ass.
Again.
Right.
No, just a thought.
But it's it takes you through those stages, like. Then you say everything that I just said, that I didn't reflect those values, I didn't do that, and then you move on, and then you say, well, I could have did this.
But with all that said, that's when you feel guilty, like you did something wrong.
Yeah, like I had to.
And you know you didn't know.
But I had to, man.
But what are you supposed to do 24/7? You still got to do your thing. You still got other children you got to raise, and you keep in contact with, do what you got to do.
Right, but should I 007 that nigga and took him out a long time ago?
Then where you would have been?
But
window love.
But if I'd have done it right,
window love. I would have known tomorrow. I wouldn't have had this podcast.
But if I'd have done it right, it wouldn't have been. You know, I'd still be doing this podcast.
No, you wouldn't, because I wouldn't be associated with a known fella.
But you
no,
but I wouldn't know. If I'd done it right, I wouldn't get caught.
No, I can smell it. Okay, no felon here. No, you're right though. Right.
Man, as a father, man, and then and then I got
couldn't
shit
imagine.
to lose.
I couldn't imagine, man.
And then I got to. Man, and then, but the funny thing is, like, even though she gone, she's still reaching up from the grave, all up in my wallet. She taking that. You don't need that last $20, Daddy. You can go and take that too. Burying somebody is a racket. The funeral market, we in the wrong business. We in the wrong fucking business. That market is saturated with car salesmen.
There is no way I could work into a funeral.
Yo, they got something that's 24 hours.
Well, I'd be the first.
Look at here.
I'd be the first one.
They give you. It's so lucrative. They give you their home number on off hours. You can hear them. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Nothing.
Funeral home.
Nothing.
What can I do for you? Let me see you to the main office. Hey, Mark, wake your ass up.
Funeral home.
Funeral home. Can I take your order?
Hey, like man, they know that's one of those situations where you know it's going to be used and it never go out of style.
Right, business is booming, man.
You know, where they mess up is with bad publicity, where people will be having, they say they cremating the bodies, they have Newport ashes in the urn versus the actual person.
Don't do that shit for me. You know how much the box to put you in to burn, to cremate is $1,400?
That's just to rent it for a couple hours.
No. The rental was $14 to $15, but even the one you gonna set to fire starts off at $1,400. What kind of bullshit?
The urn costs that much?
No. What they put you in to put you in the oven and to light your ass on fire costs $1,400. What kind of racket is? We in the wrong business, cuz. We in the wrong business. The thing that they're going to put, let me say it again, the thing that they're going to put you in and to set your ass on fire costs $1,400.
I thought that would have been just a stationary object.
I thought it'd be for free. Just throw me in there. You ain't got to put no clothes on me, no nothing. Just throw me in there. You ain't got to collect the
It's kind of a morbid conversation, but this is a conversation you got to have.
You got to have
would
it, man.
Would you
just break somebody with a cold and have them sneeze all my ashes away, man?
Would you be cremated? Is that what
cremate me, man, and have somebody clumsy carry my urn and trip on the sidewalk, and then it'd be all over the place. All this money. They try to tell us that we ain't even gonna have a funeral. We can't afford it. They gonna try to tell us it's gonna cost about $6,000-7,000. Cause here's the sales pitch. Here's what we gonna give you for $6,000-7,000. We have our staff available to you. Your staff, nigga, I got 2 cousins and a wheelbarrow. We don't need none of them motherfuckers. We don't have staff.
I'm sorry for laughing, but goddamn, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Man. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, I don't
cousins,
like,
we got
staff.
a wheelbarrow.
Nigga, I got 2 cousins and a wheelbarrow. Motherfucker. We can do this by ourselves. What else you got? Well, we got the catering service. No, my cousin on a barbecue stand right on the corner at the liquor store. They do the liquor store and rib tips for $2 for $1. Shut the fuck up. We don't need your services. We just need. We don't. Matter of fact, we don't need you at all. I could print the Bible off the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get ordained in an hour for $59.95.
Now this is right here. This right here let you know this man is a true comic. He having conversations on Just a Thought podcast on kind of on a sorrowful thing, but that ain't how we bring it, though. You know,
man.
I mean,
I gotta laugh about it. I'm gonna hurt somebody.
You laugh about.
You
gotta laugh. You know, I've seen you cry though. You are ugly cry.
Hey man, it was ugly.
I ain't gonna lie. You are ugly.
It was
cry.
ugly, man.
But you know what though? You let loose, man. You said some stuff that was very touching because people got to reach out to their children.
You know why I did it?
You got to reach out to their children because I can't understand. I can't relate.
Yo man,
you know, it's not my thing. But
I got to speak to my son.
Exactly. So something negative happened,
man.
And then something out of that negativity.
And he needed me. I ain't seen him in 7 years. He needed me.
7 years. Now, why didn't you see your son in 7 years?
Because, see, that's another stage. One of those stages you go through on how you may have fucked up as a parent.
Right.
And so
he didn't listen.
Yeah, one of the things was I was trying to teach him, and I told him this when we spoke. I said I was trying to teach you a lesson. I was trying to teach you a life lesson, in regards to accepting responsibility for your behavior. Now you know me. Mm-hmm. You know I'm not gonna sit there after your graduation, which I was there.
Right.
After your graduation, and congratulate you for doing a good job. I'm not gonna do that because you could have done better, and you know it. I said, what did you see when you was up there on that stage? What I saw was the person that could have been the valedictorian. Mm-hmm. Am I right? And he sat there for a second. He was like, yeah. He knew he could have been the valedictorian. I knew he could have been the valedictorian. He knew he let it slide and what he was doing because I let him live with his mother was affecting his behavior and his schoolwork. So I tried to teach him something that I learned when I was his age, something about responsibility for my actions and how it gave me a lift, a boost in life when this moment that I came to up on my own hit me, and it was between me and my uncle, and I wanted to give him that same gift.
So that night,
but my daughter told us otherwise.
So that night he graduated. That's the last time you saw him.
That's the last time I saw him.
So you know what he was saying after you left? God damn, man, I at least graduated.
Or was he? Or was his displaced anger so focused on the fact that I wasn't there for that part of it and not seeing, well, at least he showed up. You know what I mean? Kids that they don't. I come to find after all these years that that's what he was thinking. And on top of that, his mother wasn't encouraging him to speak to his father. Somebody somebody that was there your whole life.
That's one thing I never understand to me. I mean, to me, how would a child look at you as a father or a mother? You bad mouthing the person you had a child you laid down and had me with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's foul.
But I had growth on my part because sometimes when I get angry, I would I would say the truth.
That's why you got to think twice and speak once.
Mother to my kids, but it'd be some truthful shit.
Could be, but you don't tell it to the kid.
Sometimes you got to tell a certain shit, man.
See, I shouldn't have said that shit. Don't tell your mama I said that.
No, fuck that. Some shit you got to say, man, because them motherfuckers be looking at you like, in this day and age, they look at you like you. Let me give you an example.
Say it right.
Every time that they would be at my house, if a holiday was coming up and it had something to do with the mama, I would make sure that they called. You called your mama? It's your mama's birthday. You call your mama? If they've been over the house for a few weeks, did you call your mama? Talk to your mama? She ain't do that for sure. She didn't do that for me.
Did you wish your dad a happy
birthday? Yeah, right. If they would talk over my house, if the mama punished them over her house and something was wrong or whatever, that punishment.
But were you cordial?
With their mother?
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Okay.
But sometimes
you could have a conversation.
Most of the time, when she wasn't acting like a 16-year-old, And I ain't trying to bash her right now because we're going through the
No.
But I'm just telling the truth. When,
I'm
she
asking,
know it. She listening right now. Goddamn, you know it. I had to calm you down a couple times because you was all the emotional shit. We just had to go through this emotional shit with this shit. I just hey, calm down. Haven't I been there since this happened? And
right.
we've been there for you. Think about all that. How because you kind of talking to me like you don't trust me or something. I need you to trust. I done earned it. Come on now. We done been. We ain't even together, and I'm here with you. I'm making sure you get what you need down there and all that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, so calm down. Pat yourself on the back. You've been doing a good job.
I don't want no cookie.
I said, did you pat yourself on the back? Yeah. She said, yeah. You know what I mean?
I'm only asking because I know sometimes that family members don't like to fuck with other family members.
Yeah, man, we gotta stop that shit.
Unless they have to.
But see, that's
they have to. And to me, I don't like you coming around when you think it's necessary. You come around when you should come around because you family. What I don't like is fakeness. You know, I can't. That's not my way. I can't do that. You can reach out so much, to your family, and then they don't reach back. There's nothing you could do.
Right.
They don't understand. You don't look at it as a negative when something happens in life. You look at it as a learning experience. You gotta grow. You can't be perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. But you gotta talk shit out. You gotta have a conversation.
Yeah, you gotta have a conversation.
You know what I'm saying?
But the reason why we don't do that stems back from slavery.
Well, and that's a little deep for me, but
no, but
I get it.
We write people off so quickly is because we had to do that in order to survive.
I don't write nobody off, man. It was, what's funny? I had to sit around with my mother over at the wedding. We said, I'm telling you, it was beautiful. At the view, is it was rented out at the Lugnut Stadium. They put some money into it, man. And I went to the original wedding. I went to this one. And my ex-sister-in-law was there. I ain't seen her in 30 years. My mother was there. My wife was there. My kids. We had a glorious time. There was no negative. If I was a negative person and went off past and what you did this. I remember in '89. No, you can't live like that. That'll make you go sick inside. Man. And later in life, you're gonna realize, you know what? You gotta pick better battles.
Oh yeah, you
gotta pick the better battles.
Well, that's later in life. That's called maturity. Growing up,
it's called maturity, and you can't hold grudges on certain situations. You got to pick a better battle. I don't even remember some things that happened. With negative people. When I see them, hey, what's up? What's going on? Hey, boom, boom. You ain't gonna get me sick.
See, I'm an ex.
I wish you would have went, man. It was a good time, man.
I'm an ex-foster kid, man.
Yeah, ex-foster kid or not, you should have went.
But look.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, man. I know the stuff you've been going through.
We get a lot of disappointment.
Some positive would have been nice for you to see.
Right, but as an ex-foster kid, we get lied to a lot of disappointments, and we hold grudges because of
lack of trust
of people and
have I ever give you a lack of trust for me though?
No.
Honestly, since day one I met your ass, 5 years ago?
A couple times. You was late a couple times. I was like,
to your crib?
Not to the crib. I'm talking about to the movie set. Inside bed.
You got your rabbit ass. I was at a movie set one time
in Matthew. What was that place we was at? Marshall, Michigan. You was late a couple. But
I couldn't make it to Marshall because my buddy got. I couldn't make it to that show because we got stopped by the police.
Yeah, but that
and the dude that we just talked about.
Right,
this,
I know that.
My buddy.
But I had just really met you.
Just a thought.
So when that happened, I was like,
he janky. No, but that was not suspect. We were just talking about this. He was in the wedding with us. It was one of his brothers, one of his 4 brothers. It wasn't my buddy, it was his brother. So.
I feel
it was funny. No, that was a Marshall one. It was on our way, and my wife had to come pick me up.
Yeah.
No, she had to come pick me up.
No, but my family and myself, we appreciate everything you've done, man. It's
man, I ain't doing nothing but being Fred Potter, and that's all that happens, man. Whether you like it or not, that's just me. That's just being cool. My buddy was thanking me for being in his wedding. I said, dude, I didn't do anything, man. I said, man, I was just being Fred Potter. I said, that's all that you had to be. Fred Potter.
That's
just work the room, have fun, have a good time, and if my wife was there and my daughter was there, I couldn't have been the best man. I couldn't have been like, so the Lord works in mysterious ways as one is to perform. Not saying all this negativity could have turned into a positive thing, but sometimes it does.
Sometimes it does.
I wasn't mad that day. I didn't want to be fighting. I didn't want no negative. I didn't want somebody to
But the
my
good thing about
happiness.
that situation, it made you think about, man, I don't want to be in this negative situation and something happened to my child.
Exactly.
It made you aware.
All of that, man.
Because beforehand, you might not have been aware and just been, we'll squash that tomorrow. No, we need to squash this right now.
All that. And you know what's funny, Amaro, you said that? My daughter came back into the house, Dad, sit down. I said, no, I don't sit down. And she started smiling, and we started talking from there.
Right.
And went from there. But we had a nice half hour conversation, stuff that needed to be said. Yeah. And I respect that as a 20-year-old, but I've been 20. She ain't been 53.
Right.
You know, and certain things, and I've never been a female.
Right.
So, you know, it was cool, man. It was cool. So she came over here. I'm just threw her laundry in the damn laundry washer right now. I mean, I just dump it in there. I don't sort it. There's always $5 that fall out in the dry. But anyway, man, there's certain things happen that shouldn't happen in a negative way to bring out the light. It should be like that anyway. But we ain't nobody perfect.
I had a conversation with my son, man, for the first time in 7 years.
Yeah.
When I left the house, and I'll never forget it. And I wish it was a Kodak moment. We just didn't have no Kodak.
Since, right?
Oh yeah, we talked almost every day. I was walking away, and he was like, Dad, and I turned around, and he was like, I love you, Dad. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I love you too, man. Like I ain't heard that shit in 7 years, man. Like that's my baby boy. Yeah. That's my baby boy. Like you could tell he needed me.
Yeah.
And you could tell, like, you know, something wrong over there, man. I should have been. We shouldn't have been this distant this long, man. I was like he got his girlfriend is Asian.
I've never had a son, so I couldn't.
Well, his girlfriend is Asian, and when she came home, shit got weird. It was like she wouldn't sit down unless I sat down. I'm like, motherfucker, I done seen you on tape. Like on your school thing before, you weren't acting like that. Like she was acting like they had refreshed her brain. She had like went to Asia or something. They kind of reprogrammed her, and she came back. Like she wouldn't sit down.
This is how you supposed to do it here.
Right. So I sat down. She sat down and shit, and then I was getting ready to go. So I stood up. But I stood up. I stood at the door for like 20 minutes still talking and shit. And the whole time she was standing there like, like looking at me like, I wish you sit your ass down.
No, she was ready for you to buck. No, she about to put you in a headlock.
This motherfucker won't sit down because
sound like a nice young lady, actually.
Yeah, I guess. I'm like, is he gonna whoop your ass?
Sounds like a nice young lady.
My son, is he beating you? Tap your foot.
Blink twice. One each eye.
Like he did look like a black Nazi in this motherfucker. What's wrong with him?
Well, that's cool, man. At least you and your son reconnected.
Man, I missed him, man. I missed him. I missed it. Like I told him, I was like, man, we supposed to be making movies together, dog.
So you like 24, 25 now?
How old is he? He was born in he's 24. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you got together like that, but you know what?
No, I think he's 25 actually.
Okay, you still stuck on that.
Okay. Yeah, you know.
Hey, yeah. You said 7 years after you graduated, so 18, 19,
around 24, 25.
Okay, there we go.
Little knucklehead, man. He but I also admitted to him, you know, I was flawed, man. Just like I forgive my dad because he was young.
Maru, are you playing?
I'm flawed, and I apologize to you for trying to live your life, man. You know,
you was trying to live his life vicariously.
Yeah, but that conversation we had over here talking about how we all have this plan for our kids, and when they make the wrong turns and the decisions, we get all mad because they didn't do what we wanted them to do in our head. I told him that. I was like, I had that in my head. But the thing was, he was living those dreams out of becoming a filmmaker. He was as a little kid, and that was what he wanted to do. And he was doing shit. He was drawing and making storyboards, his own little comic book. So
maybe your next project, boom.
Maybe.
Damn, you calm down quick.
I would like that, but I ain't gonna get my hopes up. That's 7 years, man. A lot of shit can happen.
Oh, Rome wasn't built in a day, man.
Right.
That's still your fruit of your loin. That's one thing me and my daughter we was having our conversation. Man, I had allergies today.
Yeah.
I had to calm down. I had to calm down, and I was like, man, that's me. That sounds just like me.
I'm trying to beat them out of you. Or beat them.
That's what I said, man.
Beat you out of them.
I'm like, man. That's what I said. I was 20. And
get your ass out of her.
No. I give respect. You know, young ladies, they deserve respect. Especially my daughter. She's very independent. You know, she's about to get her own crib, 2 jobs.
No, I see some
at
of
school
me
right now.
I see some of me and my kids.
Oh
now,
man, so you
like
gotta calm down and go. Wait the fuck a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, you got.
I'll be like, Lee, come here, get out of here.
But the thing, man, do you think you should be friends with your children?
Oh no. I've told them
I think you should
times.
be real cool,
but I'm
not
still
friends.
your daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
That way, there's no misinterpretation, misunderstanding. Or wait, that was for real. You know, like we had a great Saturday. She 20-year-old gonna drink.
My other son, even him, she had taken him from me almost 2 years ago, and I haven't seen him since. And but when I went to go see him, because that's really his mama that passed. And so when I went to go see him, before he even saw my face, I could see him coming to the door, and he was like, "Hey, Dad!" It came straight to me and hugged me. You know.
How old is this?
He's 12. He tall. He think he taller than me now.
That age.
Yeah, his voice done changed and shit.
Is this right here like this?
Yeah, less than drop. He think
come out.
Yeah. He was like, "Hey, Dad." I'm like, "Oh shit."
If I had an alarm clock, come out. I'm jumping the fuck up. Why do you pee yourself? I don't pee myself. I piss myself. There's a difference. So,
that's funny.
Hey man, so you know, you got my utmost respect as far as that. Yeah, you know, after you said that, I didn't know what to say, man, because I couldn't relate, and I remember texting you anything you need, and I said, shit, what if this nigga say, can you pay my rent for the month? You know, so how often do you think about stuff you send people when you know, because you don't know how to react. You don't know what to say. You do the best you can because nobody likes to deal with negative stuff. You know, it's just not. It's not in your DNA, your character. Some people, some people do love. They thrive on negative.
Yeah.
They thrive on.
I know people like that. I used to call them in-law.
Yeah. So you know, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to react. But it was funny because I said, okay, I'll bring over some food and Taco Bell. What?
That's what we do.
Taco Bell.
We'll feed a problem. We'll feed a tragedy.
But it's usually chicken or
Man,
something.
be like,
Bring
Mama
over
died.
any kind of chicken.
Mama died. What
yes.
we gonna do?
We're gonna bring over chicken
cake. You
ass.
want some chicken or some ribs?
You want some chicken or ribs? Both. Then you come over with both. And people come over here and bring
3-4
some slaw.
hours, it'd be a potluck going on.
You got some biscuits.
Right.
Somebody come over with some the condiments and some Sprite.
I ain't never been offered so much food in my life.
And then everybody and the uncle in the garage drinking the beer and the Hennessy. That's me.
The next time I get hungry, I got what? I got another kid at the house.
Wait, you know, speaking of Taco Bell, you know what's messed up? I went there maybe I think Saturday night or Sunday, whatever. It doesn't matter. My daughter wanted something. Okay, so I went. She said, if it's too busy, don't go.
You tried them little cinnamon balls, the things with the thing
cinnamon
and
rolls.
stuff in the middle.
It's like
Woo,
there was like 10
ball.
cars in the drive-through. So I went in. There was one lady in front of me. She ordered $25 worth of shit. Had a Lyft driver. So it's relevant to the story. That's why I said that. So I ordered 2 soft tacos for my daughter, and my wife wanted 2 hard tacos. That came to, and then it came to $13. So I got my receipt. So $13 sounded like quite a bit. So I got my receipt, and while I'm looking at my receipt, white lady, her husband, and some kid, maybe 17, 18, is in line. I didn't even notice them until I go, wait. I didn't order this, and I'll go up, and the lady said, excuse me. I'm ordering here. You're already done. I said, no, ma'am, I am not done. They messed up my order. So the young kid, young fella, maybe 17, behind the counter, 17-year-old behind me comes, hey, that's my mom. I was like, oh, man. What? I looked at it, I said, man, what are you, 12? Amaru, I ain't gonna lie, man. I admire the young fella because you stick up for your mom. Right. The husband stood right there, lips quivering.
Like, son,
and I'm like, look, I'm not. He messed up my order. I'm trying to clarify it.
Right.
So at this point, I'm waiting for a phone to come out and start recording because they're getting loud with me, and I'm like. And the lady ended up saying, I can smell alcohol on your breath. I said, lady, I walked up here. Of course I didn't. I just told her that. I had a couple of beers. No big deal. I was stopping on my way home to get my daughter something to eat. So I was doing a nice thing. Yes, you too close to me to smell this alcohol. I said, if you want to go there, go there. Okay? So she's sitting there talking some more. Then the manager comes up at this point, and he's asking me what's going on. And I start engaging, talking to the manager. They get mad. They go like, we're leaving. I said, don't leave without your chalupa. And the store starts cracking up. They started cracking up. But I didn't engage with her. I didn't get mad. I didn't elbow her kid. Because if I would engage with that kid, I would have went to jail. Because I would have smacked him. He was in my space. But he defended his mama. He didn't. But I could tell that the dad, we don't want nothing to do with this guy here. This is Friday night because I was just leaving the game.
That's what I would have pointed out with the kid. I'd have been like, I understand you trying to defend your mama honor, but don't get you and your daddy beat up in Taco Bell over a misunderstanding. They got my order fucked up.
And I was already, it's an incomplete order, so I have the right. Sorry, I didn't hear what she was saying. I didn't care what she was saying. You still messing with me. Give me my money back. So they ended up giving my money back, plus they kept the 2 extra shits in there. So, And the lady that was ordering $25 worth of shit, she was trying to co-sign the whole time. Like, I don't want them to think you with me. Could you please leave me the fuck alone?
I used to work at Taco Bell.
I don't eat at Taco Bell. I don't never eat that shit. I ain't eat that shit in 10 years.
I like Taco Bell.
Yeah, so does my daughter. She almost got me locked up. If I would have acted wrong, I would have got hemmed up. Because guarantee you, if I would I ain't done. I'm rambling. If cops would have been called, yes, I would have left that Denali right in that parking lot, and I would have just walked down the street and just circled the block.
I would have too.
Yeah, call my lady, come pick me the fuck up. Why? Hey. Wait a minute, just come pick me up. Why I gotta come pick you up? Just come pick me up. I don't understand why I gotta come pick you up.
They get you caught.
Pick me the fuck up.
Right, they get you caught.
Why are you yelling, sir?
I got a joke like that. I was like, Liam Neeson, he be, every movie, his kids be involved somehow. They be grown, taken. But they know Liam. They know Daddy is a star. He fucks it up. He gonna come get your ass here, the cues and keys, all that shit. He go to signals. My kids will fuck all that up. I come home, they being taken hostage by the captors, and I be like, and I see some shit jumping off. I be like, is mom home? They'll be like, huh? God damn, huh? What the hell? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Liam's kids, mom, so that's a signal. He don't like my mama, so I know, do this, X, Y, Z. Mama dead or some shit. They like, huh?
Oh, man.
Call mom. I don't know. Daddy said to call you. My kids, they. Yeah.
So I'm glad to be a Michigander, to be honest with you, man, as far as weather-wise, because, Dorian's fucking up down there. Freeport, Bahamas, man, he was just lingering there taking a shit the whole day. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, he was it's the slowest hurricane.
But I don't understand. It's going to happen there every year.
Yeah, 45.
It's time to come to land.
Did you know 45 never heard of a 5, category 5?
He's an idiot, so he
heard
of it. It just went over his head. He thought category 5 was something on somebody's menu.
It's incredible. I think I've never heard of it. I mean, I don't understand.
He congratulated Poland.
He never heard of Andrew. He never heard of.
He just congratulated Poland for getting their ass whooped by the Nazis.
This is a bad one, though. This is a bad one. So pray for the people in Florida. Mar-a-Lago. Bye.
Hey, somebody put on on social media.
Go there now.
No, they put the coordinates to Mar-a-Lago on social media. Said, "Dear Dorian, these are the coordinates."
Yeah, it's going bad right now down. You're right. The hurricane season is always the same.
And
time
he just took
year.
money, a bunch of money out of FEMA's budget.
Yeah, to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? He still got his. You know what? Did you see the 19-year-old buck naked white dude killed his mama, his sister, nephew, and took 100 police to take him into custody?
Oh, somebody just did it today. A 14-year-old boy just killed all 5 of his family members today.
In Alabama.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the dude buck naked, running around, went and choked a church guy.
I bet they apprehended him, huh?
They apprehended 100 police, dude. But did you see him choke and tase the dude in DeKalb? Choke and tase the dude, a brother who was caught with weed in a legalized state. Choked him out.
Choked him out.
And tased him at the same time.
I seen something about that.
But you're going to have a white dude running around. I'm sorry, we have to keep talking about it.
I've been out of news commission for the last week.
Understood. That's why I'm keeping you on the speed, man. I mean, I'm sure you understand the double standard and the hypocrisy and the pissed offness of when you see shit like that, man, because this dude is running around buck naked, so how's that going to be even rehabilitated? Obviously, he don't give a fuck. And he just killed his mama, his sister, and his nephew, 1-year-old nephew, and he gonna try to rehabilitate him by putting him in handcuffs, choke somebody out, 100 cops to take this dude. Dog said no. Even the dog knew not to bite his ass.
Was he on something?
Buck naked? Running around?
Was he on something?
He was just hot, nigga. What the fuck you think? Yes, he was on something.
I don't know.
I don't know what he was on, but
yeah, get a bit of some PCP because it will take a lot of motherfuckers to apprehend.
Could have been a likable C, you know.
You stupid. No, that would be the motherfuckers.
Yeah, that make him run around. I want to fuck somebody.
Them be the mass shooters, them motherfuckers.
Well, this dude, like I said, he killed his mama, sister, and nephew, and ran around buck naked.
He was on some shit. He was on some shit. You need to
go ahead and Google it. Talk about it next time.
No, sure. I know what it is. I know what it is.
Well, if you don't know, Google it.
I know what it is. That should have you hailing the cab backwards. That ain't no joke.
They didn't kill him. They didn't shoot him. They didn't even tase him. Yeah.
That's why.
I thought you already knew.
Oh, no. I was just listening to the story.
No. Oh, that's a good one there.
I was.
That's a good one.
I was.
Why would I bring up the brother that was cheating?
I don't know, man. I didn't want to speculate.
Let's backtrack. Man, you about that buck naked white dudes, dick slinging.
Was it? Oh, okay. So he was white.
No, damn, I said slinging. Okay. Anyway, he was 19, man. That's just messed up. We ain't gonna talk about too much of the political shit today because we had too many conversations.
I want to say this though: if you mad at somebody, man,
talk about
don't holler at them, man.
This is the thing,
especially if they family members, man. Because
this is the thing, though. Something like that should make you reach out on another way. But how many times do you have to reach out and don't have that hand back at you? So
this is what you do. Just like I would do in a marriage, just like I did do in a marriage. At the end of that marriage, I asked myself, did I do everything that I possibly can to make this work? Okay. And if I can honestly tell myself yes, then I'm good with it.
Right. So you use that in life.
Then you don't have Then you don't have to reach out anymore, because you know within yourself, if there's one little thing I could have did and I didn't do that, let me go ahead and check that off the list.
Been there, done that.
Right.
Been there, done that. So I'm confident in that. I feel good about that.
Good.
I don't have enemies. Whoever don't like me just don't like me for whatever reason. But I've never intentionally did anything to anyone.
Nah, I got a couple people that don't like me.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't like you and me. I don't care. I take, like my late brother used to say, I take that negative energy, chew it up, and turn it into positive energy.
Yeah, but it's a circumstantial. If I can make the circumstance right, and I can in the future with my future endeavors, then they won't be mad at me anymore.
Yeah, but that's kind of false. Being not mad at you.
Nah,
that's not genuine.
Yeah, that's not genuine. It's not genuine.
And you don't want that. You want to be like, now, fuck you.
They really know.
You want to be like, fuck you.
No. I wanted to I want to show them this is what my intent. Having you mad at me wasn't my intent. It was just the circumstances around those things that would just happen, and my maturity
Understood.
at the time.
Understood.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Makes sense. Makes sense. But sometimes things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
It may not be in your time, may not be in his time, be in another time.
Yeah.
Like everything that we've gone through as far as this podcast, the timing and shows we've had, not had, whatever, it's all about timing. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, the timing, the CD, the sound, the
Let it out, bro.
the music for your the soundtrack.
What did you think? You came over and listened
man,
to it?
exactly.
You
That's what
came
I'm talking
over and
about. That
vibed?
song was in my head. I'm telling you, got a hit. It was in my head. It was in my head.
What?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hey,
I'm
check it
telling
out.
you.
We was playing it yesterday. We was at the gas station and we played it, and the hook came right in, and it was a brother pumping some gas. And when she said he turned around like,
That's a hit, dude. I'm telling you.
he was like, what?
So,
What'd she just say?
so that visit I made over there and brought over all that chicken.
Yeah,
fries,
that
it
chicken was good. We fucked that chicken up.
I'm sure you did. It was a nice. You doing your thing, man. And I'm glad to have been a part. My late brother having a part of that soundtrack.
Yeah, man, that's
you
a
spice
beautiful
it up a
song.
little bit, and it's nice. It's good to see that.
I'm working on the music right now.
I'm looking forward to seeing the final project, the final.
We put out a soundtrack, the actual downloadable soundtrack, actual CD if you want.
Yeah.
But I got my designer in the UK designing one now.
Yeah.
Album art.
Is this the same dude that did the podcast photos? So Just a Thought has the photos now. It's very abstract.
Oh no, he didn't do the drawing.
okay, I was gonna say that's
he just did
Hernandez.
He just did the combination and
Yeah. He did his thing though, man.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I'm telling you, the new year we doing some research. I got to do some research on my own and do some things, and we're gonna have it going. I'm telling you, I'm not talking about it. We're gonna be about it.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's gonna be a mixture with other things and these other projects, and we're going from there. So keep looking out for Just a Thought because we're just doing some things. Jest, a thought. We appreciate whoever is listening, whoever ain't listening, get them to listen. You know, because this is our observation on life. Sometimes life that we don't expect, shit happens. You know, we have a conversation about it.
Let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
I just had my oldest child die, and I got to go do a show Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I pay a couple bills.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
I
just had a tragedy, and I got to go make other people feel good.
You know what though, brother? It happens. People in life, that happens, man. If entertainers, ball players, sports people, they do it all the time.
That's crazy.
It doesn't lessen the blow. It doesn't lessen the love. It just makes you just keep moving forward. They wouldn't want you to miss it.
Yeah,
that sounds corny as hell, don't it? But it's the truth.
A little bit.
When they say,
but
fuck you, nigga. I'm just saying when they say they wouldn't want you. That's the true statement, though.
Yeah, I think it is too. You know,
They want you to keep on
needed,
pushing.
It's needed. I need to laugh, man. I gotta laugh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time, man. Nice little trip. OG gonna be there.
Yeah, she comes. I don't know. I haven't talked to her. Just,
that'd be nice, man.
You know, I wish. I hope so. I don't have nothing against it. I don't know. You know.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap this up though because we're gonna wrap this up. It's been Just a Thought podcast. We appreciate you listening. Get it on SoundCloud. We got it on Apple.
If you're mad at somebody, man, go talk to them, man. Squash that shit.
I hear you, man.
If you loved them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. If you love them and really care for them, and especially if they're a family member, go holler at them, man.
Do what you got to do to make yourself feel like that. I did what I did. You can't control somebody else.
You can't control nobody else, but you can remove some of that on your soul. Yeah. If you make the you gotta. My eldest daughter made that decision for me. I was trying to wait some kind of special magic moment for my son to magically realize this life lesson, and my daughter was like, "Hold up, nigga!
Boom, here we go.
Hold my drink."
Yeah. So it's just a thought. It's not just Jest. That's JUST, a thought. So do that. We can switch up anytime we want on that. I'm Fred Potter.
My room.
Deuces.
Peace.